In the dead of night, only a heartbeat can be heard. What if the greatest victory in history began with fear? And a man hiding from his own destiny? A single stalk of wheat is crushed underfoot. In a winepress, a place meant for crushing grapes, a man threshes wheat, desperately trying to hide his food from invaders. His eyes dart around, terrified of being discovered. If you leave now, you'll miss the secret behind a miracle won by just 300 men. But if you stay, you'll learn what transformed weakness into unstoppable victory. His hands tremble, clutching the grain. Outside, heavy footsteps approach. He freezes. A radiant figure appears under an oak tree. The figure's voice cuts through the silence. "The Lord is with you, mighty warrior." Gideon looks around, utterly confused, and points to himself. "Me?" he mutters. "I'm from the weakest clan, and I'm the least in my family." The voice is calm, yet commanding. "I am sending you." Overwhelmed, Gideon steps back, searching for any excuse. If God is with us, why have we suffered for so long? Why has all this happened? But the command is repeated with unshakable certainty. Go in the strength you have. Still trembling, Gideon decides he needs a sign, a confirmation that this message is real. He prepares an offering, placing meat and bread on a rock. The angel touches it with the tip of his staff, and instantly, fire bursts upward, consuming the offering in a flash. Gideon falls back in terror, shielding his face. When he dares to look again, the angel is gone. In the consuming silence, he whispers, "I have seen the angel of the Lord." That very night, God gives him his first mission. Under the cloak of darkness, Gideon and 10 servants sneak toward his own father's altar to the pagan god Baal. The moon casts long, eerie shadows as they move. With a powerful swing, Gideon's axe cuts down the sacred Asherah pole. A sound of crashing stones echoes as they demolish the pagan altar stone by stone. In its place, they build a new altar, an altar to the Lord. By morning, the village erupts in chaos. Angry voices shout, "Bring out Gideon, he must die!" But his father, Joash, steps forward. He stands between the mob and his son, challenging them. "If Baal is a god," he declares, "let him defend himself." The crowd grows silent, uncertain. For the first time, a flicker of courage awakens in Gideon. He's no longer just the man hiding in the winepress. Meanwhile, a new threat emerges. A massive Midianite army invades the land. Their camels are countless, flooding the valley like a tidal wave of destruction. All of Israel trembles, hopeless, but then something shifts. The Spirit of the Lord comes upon Gideon. He raises a ram's horn to his lips and blows a powerful blast that echoes across the hills. It's a call to arms. Men from the tribes of Manasseh, Asher, Zebulun, and Naphtali hear the call and begin to gather. A great army forms, flooding the valley in response. On the outside, Gideon looks like a leader, strong, decisive, but inside doubt still gnaws at him. He needs one more sign. That night, he lays a fleece of wool on the ground. He prays, "God, if you will save Israel by my hand as you have promised, make the fleece wet with dew, but let all the ground around it be dry." In the morning, he picks up the fleece and wrings it out, a full bowl of dew dripping from the wool. But still he isn't sure. He asks for the opposite. The next morning, the ground is soaked, but the fleece is bone dry, completely untouched by the dew. Gideon finally knows. God is truly with him. He turns to face his army of 32,000 men, ready for battle. But then God speaks. "Your army is too large." Gideon's face stiffens in disbelief. Too large? They were already outnumbered. God explains, "If you win with this many, you will claim the glory for yourselves. I want you to know that it is I who gives you the victory." So Gideon gathers his troops. With a heavy heart, he announces, "Anyone who is afraid may go home." There's a moment of silence. And then, men begin to step back. A trickle becomes a flood. The dust rises as 22,000 men turn and walk away. Gideon stares, stunned, at the 10,000 who remain. And God says again, "There are still too many." He leads the remaining men down to a river. As they drink, some kneel, putting their faces directly into the water. But others remain alert, scooping water with their hands to their mouths, their eyes still scanning the horizon. God chooses the 300 who cup the water. Gideon counts them slowly, 298. 299, 300. His army is almost gone. What was once a force of thousands is now a tiny band against a countless enemy. As night falls, the valley below glows with the campfires of the Midianite army. The sheer scale of the enemy is terrifying, and Gideon feels that old fear returning. God knows his heart. He tells him to sneak down into the enemy camp with his servant. Silently, they move through the shadows, stopping near two enemy soldiers who are talking. One says, "I had a dream. A loaf of barley bread came tumbling into our camp. It struck a tent with such force that the tent overturned and collapsed." The other soldier replies with a shiver, "This can be nothing other than the sword of Gideon. God has given Midian and the whole camp into his hands." Hearing this, Gideon gasps. The last of his doubt vanishes, replaced by overwhelming certainty. He falls to his knees and worships God right there, in the shadow of the enemy camp. He runs back to his men, filled with a new fire. He doesn't hand them swords or shields. Instead, he gives each man a trumpet. Then a clay jar, and inside each jar, a flaming torch. The men exchange confused glances. A trumpet, a jar, and a light? This was their arsenal? Gideon divides his tiny force into 3 companies, and they move into position, surrounding the vast Midianite camp. The valley glows faintly under the moon. All is quiet. Then, Gideon raises his hand. It's the signal. He shatters his jar. All around the camp, 300 jars smash in unison. Flaming torches explode into the night. 300 trumpets blast from every direction, a terrifying, unearthly sound. And the men shout with all their might, "A sword for the Lord and for Gideon." The Midianite camp erupts in total panic. Warriors leap from their sleep, running in confusion, seeing enemies everywhere. In the darkness and chaos, they begin slashing at each other. The entire army collapses into self-destruction. The survivors flee in terror as the rest of Israel rises to pursue them. At dawn, Gideon's 300 stand victorious. The sun rises over a silent battlefield. Gideon breathes deeply, remembering the fearful man he was, hiding in a winepress. When everything is stripped away, our strength, our numbers, our plans, that is when God reveals his true power. And your greatest victory may be waiting for you right on the other side of your greatest fear. Leave your thoughts on this incredible story below. Like this video, subscribe to our channel, and keep watching for more extraordinary stories from the Bible. Thanks for watching.